Hi, I'm Dr. Angela Licazaleo, and I get the privilege to share with you a few thoughts about Rodrigo's Concierto de Aranjuez, the first movement. So we begin with one of the most beloved guitar concertos ever written. Even if you don't know much about classical guitar, this piece has a way of reaching out and grabbing you. The first movement sparkles with energy and rhythm, like Spain itself bottled into music. And before we dive in, yes, Rodrigo was blind from the age of 3, which means he wrote all of this by dictating the music note by note, bar by bar, to a copyist. Personally, I have trouble dictating a text message without errors, so his achievement is staggering. Rodrigo was born in 1901 in Sagunto, near Valencia, Spain. He lost his sight as a young child due to diphtheria, but instead of limiting him, it pushed him deeper into music. He began studying piano and violin, and later composition. He studied in Paris at the École Normale, where he worked under Paul Dukas, the same Dukas who wrote The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Rodrigo used to joke that Dukas taught him all he knew and much he didn't. Despite being blind, Rodrigo was incredibly independent. He typed his own letters on a Braille typewriter, traveled, and even said that his blindness was a blessing because it allowed him to focus on the essential inner world of music. He was witty, too. When asked how a blind man could write such colorful music, Rodrigo would quip, "I live in a constant state of light." Rodrigo lived a long life, passing away in 1999 at the age of 97. By then, Concierto de Aranjuez had made him not just Spain's most famous 20th century composer, but also something of a national treasure. Now, the concerto itself was written in 1939, just after the Spanish Civil War. Spain was in turmoil, and yet this concerto radiates joy, warmth, and a sense of timeless Spanish spirit. It's named after the royal palace of Aranjuez, a place south of Madrid known for its gardens and fountains. Rodrigo and his wife Victoria would visit, and he said he wanted the music to capture the fragrance of magnolias, the singing of birds, and the gushing of fountains. Now, the concerto has 3 movements. The middle movement is the famous adagio and is one that tends to steal the spotlight. It's been borrowed by Miles Davis, played at weddings and funerals alike. But tonight we're focusing on the first movement's lively, rhythmic, and unapologetically Spanish spirit. So what's happening in this opening movement? Well, right away, the guitar enters with those crisp, strumming rhythms that sound like Spanish flamenco. It's not flashy yet. It's like the guitar saying, "Let me show you how to dance." The orchestra and the guitar then trade phrases back and forth. What's brilliant here is that Rodrigo never lets the orchestra overpower the guitar. Writing a guitar concerto, quite frankly, can be tricky. A single guitar against an entire orchestra can easily get drowned out, but Rodrigo balances it perfectly, often using the orchestra as a conversation partner rather than a competitor. And a lighter orchestration with a smaller orchestra also helps. The mood is bright and confident, full of syncopations that keep your foot tapping. If the second movement is a glass of deep red wine, the first is more like a sparkling cava. And through it all, there's this unmistakable Spanishness, rhythms that you could imagine at a fiesta, harmonies that sparkle on a whitewashed wall, and the guitar leading like a storyteller who knows the crowd is hanging on every word. So, as you listen to this first movement, imagine yourself strolling through the royal gardens of Aranjuez, the fountains bubbling, the orange blossoms in the air, and couples dancing under the trees. Rodrigo gives us not just music, but a place, a memory, and a feeling, timelessly distilling Spain into sound. And if you find yourself smiling and tapping your toes and daydreaming about booking a trip to Spain, that's exactly what Rodrigo wanted.